Test, sound check. Hello, hello. Testing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Test. Testing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hello, hello. Sound check. Testing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hello, hello. Hello. Sound check. Hello, hello. Testing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Can anybody hear me? Hello, hello. Testing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hello, hello, hello. Test. Testing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hello, hello, hello. Testing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Check. Hello, hello. Hello. Testing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hello, hello, hello. Test. Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hello, hello, hello. Check. Hello, hello. Test. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hello. Better now. Now stay there. Don't leave. I'm going to start plugging some things in. Okay? Hold on a second and tell me if you hear me still. Stand by. Okay, how about now? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Yes. And how about now? Can you hear me now? How about now? Good? Hey, Sprout. Hold on, I'm checking my audio. Is there any audio? It's good? Okay, good. All right. Thank you. I'm back to normal. Sprout, welcome. Come in. I'm glad I got 7 people. Come in. All right. I'm back to, I go through this audio issue every time I go live now, and I'm getting so frustrated, I'm not sure what to do. So I thought it was because I was incorporating my external mic, and now I went without it, and it was still static. So it must be a YouTube thing or something. So. Sprout, are you still there? Okay. Did you leave? Did you skip by me? Did you give me a thumbs up before you splat? Oh, looks like no response. So I'm going to assume he's gone. Okay, are you still there beyond the bedside? Hello? Are you there? Yes. How about Jordan? Is Jordan still there? Is Zylar still there? No? Colton, Oh, I thought you said no. What's up, Colton? There we go. Now, Colton, do I recognize your name? Is that you and your dad? You gave me buy me a coffee in the long lost past, something like that? Or is that not you? Maylin, the goat. I'm gonna assume you're Filipina. ¿Cómo está? May the goat. I don't know if that's a... Karim, New Jersey, USA. How about you? What country? Oh, I got a fish. Hey, how about that, guys? I got a fish for you. Ugh. Here, we get to bring in a fish. It's a pickerel. You get to see these razor-toothed, slimy snot rockets, they call them here in New Jersey. Here. Hold on a second. Small one, but I get to at least entertain while I speak here. Hold on. I almost whipped myself in the eyeball. Okay. I got to get these pliers because these guys have teeth and I don't like dealing with it looks like he hooked himself in the eyeball. So there you go, before I release him here. There we go. Austria. What's the weather like there in Austria? Nice and springtime? Or is it winter back there? What is it? Okay. Let's see. So that was a chain pickerel. I don't know if you saw the chain pattern on his skin. I'll show it to you if I catch another one next time. Turkey, Karim in Turkey. Wait, but you live in Austria. I got you. If I could turn myself around, I'll be in the sunshine. Hold on a second. Not a whole lot of wind right now, so maybe I'll illuminate my face here. And what brought you to Austria there? Work or what? There, is that a little bit better? It's dinner time for the fish, so we should be I should be producing something for you guys. This is a hot spot, so. Anybody there? Where'd you go, Karim? Looks like you took off. Let's see. So I can. You know, maybe I should try this area over by the drain pipe, there by a park bench. And I'll hang out and cast towards the drainage there and see what's going on. Anybody there? Still got audio? Yep, still got good audio. So I got a bass and I got a pickerel already. So that's a good sign. I'm 2 for 2 so far. Looks like I'm on top of a bunch of grass here. Come in, don't skip. Give me a thumbs up before you skip if you're gonna leave. But stay in the room, if you would. You know what? I'm gonna up the motor and get the propellers out of the weeds, and then just kind of drift around in this grass and lily pads. All right. Oh, guess that ain't gonna work. You know, speaking of what I'm doing, I'm aligning the prop so that I can raise the motor up out of the pedal slot. And I was watching a new kayak last night, and it was quite attractive until I saw the price when the pedal drive was included, and the pedal drive is almost $1,000. And I thought, what? It was $2,000, similar to what I paid for this kayak, although this is a much cheaper, kayak without all the bells and whistles. And although it's a tandem, the $2,000 price range is kind of, if I'm going to replace my kayak, is what I'm looking at. And then I realized it was a price without the pedal drive. And so I added the pedal drive, and it added another $900 or plus to the price. And I went, what the heck? So anyways, back to the pedal drive. It looks like they've figured out all the little innuendos, idiosyncrasies, I should say, of the motor that we pedal drive owners experience with pedals. One is aligning the propeller so that you can raise it up out of the pedal drive slot. It's a blind guessing game. Usually, you don't know, what position the propeller is in under the water. So when you go to raise the drive up out of the slot, the propeller is horizontal and it gets stuck underneath on the hull of the bottom of the boat. And then you got to either reach your hand down there and align it, or in my case, I use the paddle because my motor's in the front pedal slot. It's a tandem. And I use the blade of the paddle to align the propeller, which works, but it's just, another step, and you have to do prior to your trolling motor bottoming out or getting to shore or hitting an object. If you're gonna, you're heading for a sandbar or whatever, you got to prepare beforehand. Well, this new drive is what's the word? User, the UI, the user interface, is good to go. It's got all the little bells and whistles where you can click and flip switches and buttons where the propeller will align itself in a vertical position before you raise the drive up out of the water, etc. So it has that, and that was attractive. Again, the kayak's pretty innovative, I guess is a good word. Apparently a kayak owner, veteran, helped design it and put in, all these little accessories and options that they're not options. Built-in, what's the word I'm looking for? Built-in features that enable you to do things without having built-in features as opposed to having to build them yourself. So I've got my ears and eyes open on this new, I forget the name of it. And although apparently designed by an American or I believe he is, the kayak is made in China. But the features are attractive, and they do mimic, some of the more top-of-the-line kayaks out there, sit-on-top kayaks, made here in the USA. So that's the latest, and I forget the name of the brand. Looks like nobody's commenting. I got 6 people apparently watching. Anybody? Can you guys come in and verify that everything's still good to go? You can still hear me? It looks like my mic is working. At least on this end it's working. How about for you guys? Can you hear me? Okay, I'm going to get a little bit closer to this drain pipe here. See if the lily pads that surround this drain pipe produce anything. What the heck was that? Looks like I'm being pulled by. Okay, let's try this. Anybody out there do any fishing or know what I'm talking about with this new kayak that is being promoted? It's, what's it start with? A C or a T, or I forget. Okay, I'm pretty close to this drain pipe. Whoa, I'm up on, oh, that was like landed right smack in front of the cement drain pipe. So let's see if anything's hiding out here in the shallows. And then I'm gonna swim the swim bait. It's a soft swim bait, dark blue with green pumpkin swirled in the blue. It's called Toho, T-O-H-O. So there I am at the lily pad edge. See if anything's hiding out right there on the edge. Nothing. Okay, and slide the swim bait along the top of the lily pads back to the kayak. Nothing's following it. Pickerel tend to, if they are interested, they'll follow these topwater baits, skipping across the top of the lily pads, and literally will swim right along the surface underneath and chase the bait. You can see the wake coming through the lily pads at your bait, and then as soon as they get near it, just stop and they'll gobble it, hopefully, and then you swing, and then they're in for the ride. Okay, here's a bunch of thick lily pads over here. Let me hit that. Okay, if anything's gonna be hiding, it's gonna be right here. So here's the drill. I learned the hard way, at least here in New Jersey. These lakes are typically, less than 5 feet deep. They're 3 feet or less, and they're choked with vegetation and lily pads. Very common. At least that's not unusual. And so it's a snag nightmare. Hey, somebody came in, Rylan. Sorry. So the more you have on your setup, the worse off you are, if that makes any sense, because it's a snag fest. You know, you put a treble hook on it, that's just a disaster. If you put a weight, anything more than an eighth of an ounce, you know, you end up just pulling up a pound of, without exaggerating, or more of this boggy bottom, at least in this particular lake, because it's an old cranberry bog, hence the boggy bottom. And so you either go weightless, or I use a 1/16 ounce weight to add a little more drop when it does reach an open, you know, open water or an open section. So anyhow, top water, skimming across the tops of these lily pads is the key. You know, whatever else you can think of that would enable you. Oh, I know what I was going to say. Enable you to fish these choked. Is what I learned the hard way was when you do get snagged. You know, when you're reeling and all of a sudden it gets snagged and you can't reel anymore. The knee-jerk reaction is to raise your rod tip and try to pull it out. Well, with these lily pad stems and this vegetation underwater, it just becomes a tug-of-war contest if you raise your rod tip and try to pull it out. So I find that the key to getting those snags undone is to just keep reeling and reel through it, and it will unstick itself a lot simpler than trying to raise your rod tip. So you just got to teach yourself, you know, when you get out here to don't raise your rod tip, just reel through it. And more often than not, it'll unstick itself. And then you can continue. So how are you, Rylan? Rylan sounds like a feminine version of Ryan. Is that even close, or? Whoop, didn't work. Let's try to redo this. Let's see. Thank you. Where are you coming from there, Mr. or Miss Rylan? Thank you, sir, ma'am. Fort Pierce, down in Florida. Is that correct? Florida? My grandkids and my daughter are down in Port Richey. Fort Pierce. Wait, Fort Pierce. Where's Fort Pierce? Sorry, that's a. Where's Fort Pierce? I don't know Fort Pierce. Sorry. Oh, down in Florida. It is Florida. Okay. Well, that was just a guess. I was thinking port. That's why I guessed Florida. Port Pierce, but it's Fort Pierce, so it's an Army base, correct? I was a shipmate. I was a Navy squid, so we didn't have forts. We had air stations and ports. Port Hueneme. San Diego Naval Air Station, Point Mugu Naval Air Station, Miramar Naval Air Station, when it was a Navy air station, now it's a Marine Corps air station, MCAS. Hoorah, Ryland. Praise God for the military, eh? Yeah, what a great opportunity experience I had. A little different story behind my tenure, or 8 years. Instead of joining the military out of high school, like a lot of kids do, you know, when you're 17, 18, I did not choose to join the military. I was curious about it. Navy SEALs was kind of reared its head, and they came to our high school there end of our senior year, and all the branches of the military came to our high school, you know, trying to recruit. And the Navy SEALs were sitting up in the bleachers of our football field. That's where they erected all their kiosks and their tents for the recruitment day. And all the seniors walked around the football field, you know, visiting all the tents. And I saw these guys sitting up in the bleachers, and I think they got my attention. And I went over and spoke with them, and they told me they were SEALs, and if I was interested, and I said, I don't know, talk to me. And they said, well, we have like I don't know, I think they said 70% attrition rate. And I think I asked them, what's that? And they said, yeah, 30%, only 30% make it. And I was like, oh my gosh, okay, thanks guys. And I walked away. Well, anyways, I never did take the bait back then. And then fast forward 19 years, 18 years, when I was 36, I was back in San Diego, California, and I had just returned from a 10-month stint in New Orleans, Louisiana. And I remembered a brochure I found a brochure that I had tucked away in my suitcase when I returned in a zippered pocket. And it was a program that incorporated civilian experience, whatever it is you do, whether you're a fast food worker or you are a nuclear, you know, physicist. They try to place you laterally into a position in the military based on your experience. Well, I was a civilian paramedic. So I thought, I'm in between jobs at that time as a paramedic, and decided, you know, what the heck, let's go down to a recruiter's station. Let's find a recruiter's office or trailer and ask them about this program, you know, this brochure. And I walked into a trailer that had Army on the left side of the hallway and the aisle, and Navy on the right side. Walked into the Army, knock, 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 come in, and I introduced myself, etc. Broke out that brochure and asked him about it. And he's like, oh, what do you do for a living? I said, I'm a paramedic. He says, we can make you a medic in the Army. I'm like, okay, talk to me. So he started, you know, his spiel. He's probably, you know, 10 years or more my junior. I was 36 years old when I walked into that recruiter's. And the cutoff age is 37 years old. I was 36. June of my 36th year, and my birthday's in August, actually, this coming August. And I was going to be 37 then, and that was the cutoff age. Now, I don't know if it was too late once you turned 37, or you had the whole 37. I think you had the whole year of your 37th year to join. But he was doing his best, you know, to reel me in and convince me. I said, no decisions today, but thank you. Well, here's my card, and he gives me his card and gives me the brochure back. And then I walked across the hallway to the Navy side. And let me know if you're still there.
So well, either way, I'm going to keep talking. But so I went over to the Navy recruiter, and same thing. What do you do for a living? I said, I'm a paramedic. He says, oh, we can make you a Navy corpsman. I said, what's a Navy corpsman? He said, it's a medic. It's, the name for medic in the Navy. And I said, oh, okay, cool. So I had him give me his spiel. And this guy was like 23 years old, I remember. Blonde-headed, pale-skinned kid. And, he told me I could bring you in as a third-class petty officer. Usually you come in as a recruit, and then they place you. They ask you what are you interested in, and they try to place you into a school, that's related to your rate. That's what they call your position, your job of interest, and that's called A school. And they train you whether you're going to be a medic or a corpsman, or they send you to medical training, et cetera, et cetera. If you have a construction background, they ask you what's your experience, and then they either send you to school or they place you in a little higher rank based on your experience. So I told him what I did, and he looked at his paperwork and said I could bring you in as a third-class petty officer, pending that you go to boot camp at 36 years old, and you finish what they call basic military requirements, BMR. And it's book testing and some practical training that all people in the Navy have to go through. Shipboard firefighting, weapons qualifications, and it's schoolwork. And it's like 2 weeks of boot camp as opposed to 8 weeks, which is a normal 17, 18-year-old would go through. But it's all condensed. It's the same book work and the same expectations that anybody else that joins the military goes through. It's just condensed, and you're doing nothing but eat, drink, sleep, and studying the entire 2 weeks, with a weekend, one Saturday, Sunday of R&R, where you can go to church, or you got to stay on base, and it's pretty much on your own, but you're on the base. Or at least that's their recommendation: stay on base. Get yourself in trouble if you go off the base, which some guys did. Anyways, and the average, the age gap, the age range in my class, there was 80 of us, was 23. There was a girl that was 23 and a guy that was 52, 5'2". And the cutoff, although, was 37. Everybody wondered, how did he get in? Well, there's always exceptions in the military. Actually, he may not have been 52. Maybe he was 42, because 20 years would have brought him to 62 if he did a 20-year, stint in the military. So maybe it was 42. And 62 is retirement age, or maybe he was 45, and his 20 years would have brought him to 65. But anyways, you get the gist. So I came in as a third-class petty officer, a part-time job in the Navy Reserves. And that's how I joined the military. 36 years old, first day on the job down in San Diego, 32nd Street, San Diego Naval Air Station. And yeah, that was the beginning of my 8-year contract. I signed an 8-year contract. And there is Angie. Hey, Angie. ¿Cómo está? I joined in 1999, and my contract was until 2007. In 2004, I got deployed with the 123 Marines and provided medical support for them over in Iraq, in the Al Anbar province. The forward operating base, FOB HEAT, H-I-T, pronounced heat, like H-E-E-T. I spent 7 months over there in the middle of the desert, the middle of the dirt, next to the Euphrates River, having mortars and rockets and small arms and vehicle-borne IEDs blowing up around us and at us. And it was a horribly dangerous 7 months to be trying to do your job. But anyways, got home and then decided to call it quits because I just couldn't be doing that at 42 years old. I was 42 at the time. And decided to let my 8-year contract expire instead of doing 20 and getting a retirement. Rumor was I was going to Afghanistan next with the same unit, 123 Marines out of Houston, Texas. And that spooked me. I said, no, I'm done. So I was a new dad and a new husband when I got home. And yeah, decided to put that priority over getting my retirement. And had I stayed, I would have retired in 2019, 20 years from 1999. It would have been 2019. Such is life. Okay, no fish here in these parts. I got behind me is the hot spot. So let me head over there. A few more casts here to the shoreline. How are you, Angie? You said hello? Are you still there, Rylan? We got 3 people watching. I think I know what one of those people watching. That's my wife. Are you still there, wife? Beyond the bedside? How about Zylar? I saw Zylar in earlier. Are you still there? Are you still watching? Can you guys still hear me okay? Yep, looks like my microphone's still on. That doesn't mean you can hear me, but I'm hoping you can. Hello, hello? Anybody? Sound check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6 people watching, 4 people watching. Stop scrolling, guys. Stop skipping and come in and give me a thumbs up. And if you want, you can stay or you can continue on, but that thumbs up would be helpful. I'm trying to get monetized, but I need watch hours. I got plenty of subscribers. I just need people to watch my content. So this live stream is the easiest or the most efficient way of getting watch time. Because the more time you spend in here, it's like watching one of my videos, but you're spending a prolonged period in here talking with me. So that's equivalent to, if you stayed here 10 minutes with me, only 10 minutes, that's equivalent to watching a 10-minute, full video. And how many people, spend 10 minutes anymore, watching? Although I do on some channels, that I subscribe to with excellent content. But otherwise, shorts, is the most popular fad, skipping through shorts. And I think that's what this comes up as a short. There you are, on the bedside. Well, entertain me beyond the bedside, humor me. Start a conversation. I know that's not your MO, but that would be cool. Ask me some silly questions about this guy with the red hat and the fishing garb out in the middle of a swamp on his kayak. Anybody? How's the audio? Is it good? She's my my technical support. She's my audio technician. Is it good? All right, there's no wind out here. It is absolutely perfect temperature. And apparently it's gonna warm back up. It's gonna heat up again and scorch here the next 2 days, upwards of 90. Is that right? Isn't that what it says? It's gonna be 90 something degrees. Looks like my battery went out on that phone. I mean on that camera. Battery's dead on that camera. It's all right. What I should do, since I have my forward-facing camera with the phone, is I'll just do screen there. Look at my my cable has come off my rudder again. Yep. And I got absolutely no right turn. So I'm just gonna keep it in the middle, and so I gotta figure out what do I do to keep this cable from coming off the spindle under the handle. Just started doing that, and I'm not sure why. All right. Hello, beyond the bedside, are you there? Hello, hello? Okay. What's going on here? Anybody? Are you there? Anybody else besides beyond the bedside? 5 people watching. Don't skip. Come in, come in. You just missed my another chain pickerel. Let's see if we can catch a decent sized bass out of these. Lots of grass here coming to the surface. Growing up off the bottom about 2 feet tall or less. And lily pads sitting right on top. I see yes, 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 and yes. Okay. I guess she's busy on her iPad. Here, another yes. Yes. Okay, there's going to be a creature in here. I think there's a creature. Lots of grass. So the pickerel, well, the bass also. I had a year where I found almost like a school of 3 and 4 pound bass all hanging out. I think I caught 3 in the same area. I ended up casting into the same area for a good hour and ended up catching 3 3+ pound bass. Okay, something just, nope. Lily pads. Hold on. Something's gonna hit it while I'm putting my neck gaiter on here. Okay. Can you still hear my muffled voice? Let's see. There's the microphone. Okay. Let's see if anything's hanging out on this point. The land comes to a point over here, but the water doesn't, go really from shallow to deep. It goes from, 4 6 inches to a foot and a half out here where I'm at. So you can't say, you know, there's a ledge system here at this point. It just isn't. But are the fish that subtle to the depth since they've been in this lake for so many years that they actually consider that a ledge, you know, from 6 inches and then gradually sloping to 18 inches? I mean, how much of a ledge? That's not a ledge, that's just a slope. Okay, the wind is pushing me right up against this lily pad strip here. This is the hot spot. So we're gonna fish the edge of this. Let's go ahead and drop this shallow water anchor, and we'll just do it that way. Okay, this positions me right parallel with the edge of this strip of lily pads, about 15, 20 feet wide, and it just kind of meanders and snakes its way across the width of the lake. And I'm going to fish the windward side of the lily pads. All right, 5 people in the house. Come in, come in. Military, Word of God, emergency medicine. I know Beyond the Bedside has some medical background, but I think she's too busy to talk about her career as a nurse. Right, Beyond the Bedside? You were a nurse for a couple years? What was your bedside career? What years were you a bedside nurse? 1990, what was it? 95 to 2025? 95 to 25, that's 30 years. 30 years, dear. Right? Yep. 30 years as a bedside nurse. Are you there? Miss Beyond the Bedside? Can you confirm what your years were as a bedside nurse? Primarily med-surg, correct? Medical surgical? Hello, hello? Are you there? Earth to Beyond the Bedside. Okay, nothing, this isn't producing anything. The sun's nice and high. It looks like I still got an hour plus till it goes down behind the trees. Anybody? 3 people in the house. Don't forget the likes, guys. At least the thumbs up before you skip. Okay, I'm getting stuck a lot here. Wonder if my hook is exposed. So, anybody out there listening with some fishing experience and have tried this new Kawiki sea urchin lure? Sea anemone, actually it's a sea urchin looking rubber, star tentacled with a little round center. Well, I got 10 of them on its way, and I'm going to use a wacky worm, a weedless wacky worm hook, 4/0. And then just keep, instead of putting a bullet weight or a, what do you call it, weight through the center of the bait, I'm going to just use an 1/8 ounce bullet weight that's going to sit on top of the hook. And yeah, that's what I have right now. So I decided just don't change the setup. I've got a bobber stop that keeps the bullet weight there glued down to the top of the hook. So yeah, we'll see what that does, how that affects the sinkage, the sink rate of that new sea anemone, or I should say sea urchin. No, sea anemone. Sea anemone? What is it? Sea star? What the heck am I trying to say? It's not a starfish. A sea urchin. Yeah, it's the one with all the spikes that come out of it. A sea urchin. Yeah, that's what it resembles. But it's made of that surgical rubber, or that PPE rubber. I forget the rubber they use. Very stretchy, elastic. All right. Well, nothing on nothing so far over here. Very unusual. Oh, hey, I'm on. Something hit it up and he's off. I was not paying attention. I went to look at the screen, and instead of swinging, I heard all the commotion and the splashing and the tugging, and I looked back and I was too late. He already missed my bait and went on his way. So we're gonna do that again here. I need to adhere to the 5-minute rule. Who's there? Rylan, you're back. How's my audio, Rylan? It's good? Still burning strong? You can hear me? Good to go? Hey, bro. Are you a guy? I'm calling you bro. Is she a girl, or is she a boy? Or is she a girl, oh boy? Ba-doom. Psh. Yes, what? You gotta, sometimes your answers, I don't know what which question it coincides with. So you have to be specific. Yes, and then continue and answer the question so I don't get confused. Yes, you're a boy. Oh, okay. Gotcha. Where's mom? Where's dad, Rylan? Okay, let's see if we can get this. So anyways, this 5-minute rule, I heard about it, and then I watched the video, and apparently people have, more than one, have done experiments and have, mom and dad are out fishing, and they found out that fish, once they have been disturbed from their spot, wherever that spot may be, it'll take are somewhere around 5 minutes before they return to that spot, especially if they're on a bed and they're trying to remove or chase away anything and everything from their eggs. It'll bump, a bait. Like if I throw a bait near the eggs, it'll literally pick up the bait or bump it and run it out of the way and move it. And then once they do that, it'll take them somewhere within that 5 minutes to return to that position, of hovering in that spot where they originally were before you disturbed them. So you got to be patient and just go about your fishing somewhere else, and then use your own little internal clock and say, okay, that's been 5 minutes, and then throw the bait back in that same spot. And I've had multiple times where that fish will either hit or bump, and I've taken up to 4 tries before I finally time it to where he's actually carrying it away from his bed, and I'm swinging and actually hooking him as he's moving my bait. So it's pretty spot on, that 5 minutes. A 9-pounder, where are you? You're in Florida or Texas? Somewhere down south? And has somebody caught it? Is that how you know it's 9 pounds? Have you seen the scale weight? Down in Florida. Yep. Well, that's a monster for sure. I was just watching a video, speaking of that Kowiki bait, I was talking about it. I don't know if you were here when I was talking about it. It's that sea urchin looking bait, the rubber star, 4-inch diameter, anywhere from 2 to 4 inch. And it's the latest craze in bass baits. Well, video out there of a guy catching a 40-pound bag, 5 fish, 40 pounds. His first one is 9+, and all the rest of them are 7s and 8s. Unbelievable. He found a school of large bass, and he keeps throwing this bait, and he catches every one of them on this new sea urchin, like rubber sea urchin bait. And a 12-pounder where? In your pond? Holy moly. Well, I'm dreaming to catch a 7-pounder. My personal best here in New Jersey is 612 1/4, and that's the largest bass I've ever caught. So anything over 5 pounds is a bragging right here in New Jersey. Just not often that 5-pound bass rear their head, but in this lake they do. Hence the reason why I keep coming back. It's an awesome little, unique 2-foot lake. I'm in 18 inches of water right now, out in the middle of the lake. Well, I'm towards the shore, but it's no different out there. Maybe a foot deeper. 1.5 to 2.5 is the average. 2.5 feet is the average depth of this entire body of water. It's up to 5 feet down there near the dam in places, but it's 12 inches down here on this end. You can't motor. You gotta paddle or pole yourself through it. Okay, why did I cast out there? I don't know why I cast it out there. I'm not paying attention. Okay, let me get back to business here. See if I can bring out. Come on now. I was fishing at night here the last time I was live stream, and I had a neck light beaming in my face so that, you know, I could be illuminated and be seen on camera. And I thought it was a pickerel that just slammed my bait. This soft bait, actually, it's a shad tail soft bait, swim bait. Speaking of Florida, this is from Bitter's Bait and Tackle down there in Florida. It's a Toho color, T-O-H-O, T as in tango. Toho. It's a blue, speckled blue, dark blue with green pumpkin swirled through it. And it's made from hog fat in their recipe. So anyway, I thought it was a pickerel. It was acting, it hit the lure like 6 feet from my boat as I was pulling the bait up out of the water. And then when I got it to the boat side and I finally got my eyes adjusted, I realized, oh my gosh, it's a bass. And it ended up having a, more than likely a half-pound or more bluegill in its belly. It looks like a turtle from the outside, but it's an oval-shaped ridge, you know, lining its belly. And a 2-pound bass ended up being 2 pounds 15 ounces with that fish inside of it, 17-inch. So that was that was near the end of the live stream last time. The unexpected big old splash and devouring my bait there. So where are you? Are you out fishing with your mom and dad? You said I think if I interpreted your answer correctly, I asked, where's mom and dad? And they said, fishing. So where are you? Are you out there with them? Okay, I gotta readjust here because I'm not producing anything and I keep casting it in the same area and retrieving it. So I'm gonna move up. Or maybe I should go back to that 5-minute rule here. It's been way longer than 5 minutes, but I don't think I went back to it here. Let's just try it, see what happens. Okay, nothing there. Let's go a little further. And there we go. This is going to be, if he's here, still there, he's going to be right along this line. Here we go, somewhere in here. Come on now. Nope. Nada. Let's see. Oh, God, this is getting all stuck. What do we got here? A leaf? Weeds? I got another idea. Well, you know what? I'm gonna move because this isn't producing anything. Okay, let's get the shallow water anchor up and stowed. Okay. Oh, that thing broke. Whoa. Whoa. Okay. Well, that answered. All right. That took care of my dilemma, actually. I'm going to be able to remove this carabiner. See that? All right. Now, this new anchor line that I bought looked trick and like would work. And it's got a nice strong carabiner associated with that. But the carabiner slides off of the anchor pole, and I don't need it to slide off. I need it secured. Okay, I'm gonna have to create something here before I start fishing again. I'll have to figure out something before. What am I going to do here? What kind of a knot do I tie? How about a clove hitch? That thing only works under tension, but that's all I can think of right at the moment. That ain't gonna hold. That's gonna come undone with over time here. That's not a good knot. Let's see. I don't have enough slack to create really anything else. Okay, I got an idea. What about like a half hitch on a bite? That only works under tension as well, but it's better than. Okay, how about a tent hitch? There we go. Tent hitch. 2 wraps. I don't know if I have enough, but I'm going to try. 2 wraps on this side, 1 wrap on the other. There's 1. 2. How about if I just do 2 and then chase it back through? I don't have enough. Son of a gun. 1 is going to have to be it for now. Now I can get away with 2 here. Let's see. It just isn't enough line here. It's multi-weaved plastic cordage here. And you know what? That's going to work if I can get slack. If I can get enough slack in this, I can pull that in through. That ain't gonna hold. But it's better than it was. All right, I'm struggling here. Jace, What's going on, young man? I'm struggling with a knot here to secure this. It broke, and I've got a minimal amount of working end here to tie a knot on this pole. So I'm doing what I can with what I have here. I'm gonna leave it at that, but it ain't gonna hold. I'll have to figure something out when I get home. But anyways, see how long that lasts. Okay. I was in the middle of repositioning here when my anchor line came untied from this carabiner. It's really a nice, heavy-duty, super strong spring gate carabiner, but that carabiner doesn't work for what I need it to work for. So I needed to remove it, but in order to remove it, you have to cut it off or cut the line. And I didn't want to do either one. So I bypassed it and just slid the pole through a loop in the nylon instead of through the carabiner. Well, for whatever reason or however it happened, it cut through and through. So I was able to remove a frayed plastic sheath that only gave me about 10 inches of line to work with or less. And I tied like a double half hitch on a bite. That's what it is. Okay. And it'll work. Like I said, it'll work for tonight until further notice. And then I'll figure out something when I get home. Because I want to fish. A uni knot, I heard they are good. Yeah, well, a uni knot takes, there's a many options, but I don't have any line to work with. I only got like 8 inches, and I got to tie it around a pole. So around a pole, you're looking like at a pole hitch or a tent hitch, you know, that you tie to put tension on a tent line yeah, is that called a tent hitch? Yeah. And I didn't have enough to do that. That'd been perfect. So I just did a double half hitch on a bite, you know. 2 wraps and then put the line through underneath the 2 wraps and then cinched it down, so. Okay, this is a different part of the lily pad strip. I don't know why I'm sold on this. So I don't know where anything big is. All the spots that I've caught large bass, I've tried, and they're just not hitting. And so, like, if I'm gonna catch something and get it on video, then I need to go somewhere where the chances of catching something are high, and that's where I'm at. And it kind of takes me away from any of the other places. This seems to be the going place to fish while I'm online, because I'm more than likely to get something over here. You hate them, Herd? Because I hate them or I ate them? You know, the uni knot is, you know, one of the first, I think, knots that I learned how to tie, you know, from my brother or my dad or whoever it was. when you're tying the end of a line onto a hook. And so I've never forgot that. And then when I got into the rock climbing circles, I learned all kinds of different knots, and I started learning. And I was in the Boy Scouts when I was younger, so it was part of the assignments to earn the merit badges, and you had to learn sheep bend and a bowline and a bowline on a coil, and you name it. Then I got into sailing, and I was interested in learning the different knots for sailing, which are pretty much laterally, they transfer laterally, from climbing to sailing and any other activity that has to do with rope handling. High rigging, tree topping, anybody that deals with ropes and safety. How to build an equalized anchor, Munter hitch, etc., etc. Hate them. Oh yeah. Okay, I figured that's what it was. Yeah. Why do you hate the uni knot? Why? You just kind of have difficulty tying it, or? In some of these knots that I've learned, the fishing knots, I forget what they're called, but I can tie them, and then I forget what it's called. Where when I was into rock climbing, it was just part of the craft was to remember, the knots, the figure eights and the double figure eights, because they were so important. You were tying in, and your life depended on them. So you not only learned them, but you memorized, the names of them, because that's what people were using, in reference to your life. So okay, let's find something like I did last time. Well, you were the one here, weren't you, Jace? When I caught that bass at night and ended up having a bluegill in its belly. I think that was you. Awesome. It ain't the best? Is that what he said? Okay, let me, well, that's one way to break something. What time we got? We got, oh, what did I do? It's 7:30. Wow, already? $19.30. And your guitar, acoustic, electric, bass, what do you got? Okay. What about the worm. You know, I got a new bait coming and I'm anxious to get it because I get to try something new, and I need to rig up the poles with something different, or at least try something different. I haven't done that in a while. I keep using the same baits over and over. Acoustic, gotcha. Well, I was a drummer, Jace. I was a percussionist. Junior high, high school, and a short little bit after high school. But that was it. Didn't play after that. All right, let's see if something's interested in this chartreuse tipped Senko. Oh, really? Haha. Well, I'm your, that's right, I'm your grandpa's age. Or you're the age of my grandson, so I would imagine he could be my age or older. Probably older, because I became a young grandpa, a young daddy. You know, this spool doesn't have, it's got about half the amount of line that it normally has, just through time, you know, and using it and losing it. And now the weight of the worm and that light 16th ounce weight just isn't enough to really spool this out smoothly. So it's got a lot of friction when it flies off the spool. And, you know, I can hear it buzzing when I cast it, and it limits the distance that I can throw this thing. And I need to re-spool this, get some more line on it so it casts a little smoother and further without so much effort. I really got to whip this thing to get it off the spool. Okay, why is there nothing hiding underneath all this? You know what? Let me go down, only because I haven't been down there much. Oh, wait, there's my shallow water anchor. Oh, and another thing, Jace, that I'm having difficulty with, my rudder lines, the cables that are tied onto the rudder in the back, keeps coming off the spindle that it's attached to, and I can't use it right now. It comes off when I turn to the right, and so to just eliminate that, I'm just not going to use the rudder, and I'll paddle and use the trolling motor if I have to. I'll make do, but just another dilemma. Oh, look, here's that knot. Yeah, it'll, like I said, it'll last until I get home. So, see, I've only got that much to deal with, that much line. I really can't do a true double half hitch, but with a backup knot. Okay. Well, isn't that a coinky dink that your grandpa was a drummer and so was I. Now see, I can turn to the left, but when I try to go past straight ahead and then start going to the right, the cable comes off the spool, but it'll go back on if I turn it back straight. So I gotta get in there and figure out what's going on here. So I'm gonna go to this, see if I can point it out here by taking the phone apart. I don't have enough line really, but let's see if I can turn this around. I'm going right to where this lily pad kind of strip joins the sea of lily pads over here. The sea of lily pads. I'm going right where this strip here goes down and then joins the main sea of lily pads. I'm going to try to fish right at the end there. That's where I'm at. And then that strip goes right here next to my boat and then continues across. You can kind of see it right over here as it goes. All right. Let's see what's hiding out over here. Hear that buzzing? Bzzz, that's the line vibrating on the edge of the spool there. Okay, the wind's blowing me up against the lily pads, but that's okay. Come on. It's got to be a beast hiding right on the edge here. I'm right on the edge right now, kind of dragging along the edge of the lily pads here. Letting it sink in the open sections and then pulling it up on top of the lily pads. Waiting for something to explode here. Nada. Beyond the bedside, okay. From yeses to okay. Okay. Beyond the bedside, meet Jace. Jace is Landon's age. Almost exactly the same age. He'll be 14 in August. Right, Jace? August 11th? Did I remember right? And Landon 14 on August 17th. I believe it's the same as my daughter's. I always question that. Yeah. Here, she won't like me for this, Jace, but that's Grandma. That's my wife. So that would be Grandma to you. will be 15 in 2 months. Who will be 15 in 2 months? Landon will be 14. Autumn is 8. Yes. And she'll be 9. She just turned 9, or she's turning 9. Yeah, she just turned 9, right? April. I missed her birthday. Oh my gosh. And they're 5 years apart. So he'll be 14 in August. Okay, that almost felt like a fish. You know what? Oh my gosh, what was that? Oh, that was a lily pad stem. My gosh, I got mud on my thumb. Okay. Yeah, so Jace in the room there, he's got a dad and grandpa, basically the same age group as us. See, my wife doesn't like being called grandma yet because she's technically not a grandma by blood. Her son, my son, the child we had together, isn't married or have any children yet. So she's technically not a grandma through him. But she married into my previous marriage family, and I have 2 older children who already have children. So she became a grandmother by marriage. But she doesn't like to be called that. But it puts a smile on my face because I think it's quite an honor to be called a grandma or a grandpa. That somebody else, you know, thinks of you as such is quite the blessing. Rylan, you keep coming back. You keep leaving and coming back, which is a good thing. Oh, Jace, did you hit the thumbs up already? Yeah? And thank you for staying and chatting. Okay, for some reason, there is just nothing stirring, and that's kind of weird. It's already past feeding time. I mean, not past, it's past the beginning of dinner time, so they should be out and about, looking, searching. Okay, I'm feeling something, but it's not a fish. Okay, where else, that's weird, might these monsters be hiding? Okay. I'm not giving up. I'm not giving up. I'm gonna pursue something else, another place. Let's see. Let's try over at the Killing Fields. That's what they call this area. The local a local guy and his nephew. Now, what was that? That was a turtle or a fish that just dove underwater and swam and left a big boil. Let's see here. Oh, Rylan, appreciate it. Praise God for nice and kind, right? Nice and kind people. Okay, let's see here. Should I fish these? I've had experiences, 4-pound, 14-ounce monster over in this area, but kind of out a little further than I want to go, but I'm going to try the edge of this. It's kind of where the open water, somewhat open water. Oh, there we go. And there we go. What did I say? Oh, and he just got off. Did you hear it? Did you hear the splash? He was on, but he was little. I could tell it was kind of throwing him around pretty easily. So let's try that again here. That's a good sign. And you know what? That was a pickerel because this thing's all torn up. It's got a laceration at the top, one at the bottom. So that was a pickerel. Let's see what, so maybe this is the ticket here. I've done it before. I put my back up there and cast out here towards the more choked edge of the lily pads. So let's see here. Oh, you just went fishing? You go by yourself, or were you with your parents, or what? Oh, by yourself. Were you on were you on a lake or a pond or a river or a creek or what? Okay, I'm just kind of drifting with the wind here. Oh, your pond. Gotcha. I'm sorry, Rylan, were you the one with the 8 and 12-pound bass in your pond? Was it put there and then it's grown? They've grown, or were they there before you guys got there? All right, let's see here. I can barely see into the sun there. Before. Wonder if somebody harvested them from another body of water and then put them in that pond. Do you know, or? Okay, I'm going to reposition here. You know, I'm going to retie a full worm. It's kind of missing the top. I had to bite off the head of this thing. It kind of got ripped up, and now it's kind of shredded a little bit by a pickerel. So I might as well, an excuse to put another worm on there. Oh, and there's that miniature, there's that baby one. Kind of got put in the wrong batch. It's like a 5 inch. This is 6.5, I believe. 7 inch, 6.5, and about twice as fat as that other worm. Okay, there we go. So just, I think I might have pointed out before, but I'll show it again. But basically, I got the 5/0, you know, extra wide gap worm hook. Oops, sorry. This 5/0 extra wide gap worm hook, and then the bobber stop. That's a little rubber, little oval ball there, and then a 1/16 ounce bullet weight. And that bobber stop slides right down and keeps the weight from sliding up the line. And it's Texas rigged with the hook coming out the other side, and then the tip buried in the body, like that. Good to go. All right, let's see. Kind of in a sea of lily pads here. I'm gonna paddle over to another. I'll leave the line in the water. Watch, I'll end up getting something. Well, you know what? It might not be a good idea. Hold on. Okay. So I found I've been looking, don't know how serious I am about replacing this kayak anytime soon, but I'm always, you know, looking to see if I ever replaced my kayak, what would I get into? So I started that process, and I've been looking for a while now, for a couple months, and, you know, saying yay or nay to the different options. And a new kayak I found last night. Some guy demoed on a YouTube channel. Bearded Fishing Dad. It's a Facebook group, I think. And he demoed this new kayak. Although made in China, it is designed by a guy here in the United States. I guess he just found a overseas manufacturer and worked with them to design this kayak. And the features, you know, rival those of the bigger names like Old Town and Hobie and so on, but it's not, the price point is more affordable. Well, at least I thought it was, until they added the pedal drive. It's a pedal kayak. But so I figured, you know, they're advertising it as a pedal kayak, so the price they're listing is with the pedal, right? It's a pedal kayak. No, the price is without the pedal drive. And then when the pedal drive was added, God, I can't speak. It added almost another $1,000. Although the pedal drive is pretty high tech and pretty innovative and user friendly and, you know, all of the above, it kind of solves some of the, you know, the problems that I encounter with my pedal drive, and anybody else that owns a pedal drive, you know, encounters. You know, it answers those, if I only could, you know, questions about my pedal drive. And it addresses those and solves those problems. like it automatically aligns the propeller, so you can raise it up out of the pedal slot without, it clunking against the bottom of your hull. And it's just got some other high-speed levers and latches, that makes it user-friendly, fishing-friendly. Anyways, so got my attention. It's on the radar, and all the other features. I want a pedal drive because this is a pedal drive, and I use it more as an option as opposed to the primary means of propulsion. What I use for propulsion now is my trolling motor with spot lock and the high speed bells and whistles that comes with a spot lock. What the heck is? Oh, I see now. My line is starting to create a wind knot, and I need to catch it before it does. Oh my gosh, how much line do I gotta deal out here? These things are always hit and miss as far as how much line do I need to peel out before this loop comes out. Oh my gosh, this is forever. No wonder. Oh my gosh, hopefully I don't get a knot when I reel this thing back in. Please, Lord. There it goes. Okay. All right, let's see how efficient this thing. Uh-oh, here's a knot forming right here. Crap. Oh no. Oh no. Come on, Lord. Help me out here. Help me out. Help me out. Help me out. Nope. Look at what I got. I gotta be calm, be calm, be calm, be calm. Be calm. Be calm. Although it's not unraveling. Yes, it is. Stand by, Ghost Rider. The pattern is full. So far, so good. OMG. Okay, so far, so good. All right, we're good, we're good, we're good. Praise God. Hold on, we're not out of the woods yet. Hold on. Oh, the line is wrapped around my reel. Hold on, okay, we're doing good. Stand by. All right, we're out of the woods. Unbelievable. That was painless. That was painless. Okay, that was good. There we go. Good to go. All right, Jace. Later, bro. Say hi to Dad. Say hi to Gramps. Tell him I was a drummer too. Oh, there we go. Wait. Here, before you go. Oh, and he let go. Jeez, dude. Wait. Wait, don't go yet. Wait. That was too close. How about now? You can hear me now, right? You know what I think though is I'm losing the battery. You should be able to hear me now. But if it goes out, I'm gonna change. Yeah, good, good. I'll have to keep an eye on it. And if it goes out, then it's been 2 hours. So thereabouts 2 hours. And before my history is that this thing lasts about 2.5 hours. So we'll just keep an eye on it here. Okay, I think I'm back. Good to go? Good, good, good. Okay. All right, Jace. It should be okay now. If you can give me a thumbs up before you go, that'll confirm that my mic is working. I'm good to go, Jace, with my microphone. Okay. Beyond the bedside, are you still there? I need another mic check. I just changed out my microphone, but it looks like it's burning bright, so I'm assuming it's working. Okay, the sun's down at 8:11, although that's behind the trees, that's not the horizon. So. Okay, I keep seeing activity over here, a boil, so I'm gonna cast over there and see what's causing the commotion here. All right, there we go. See what this produces. Okay, why am I? That's good old the dilemma of braid, right? Light braid. Hey, Rylan, how's my microphone? Is it good? I just changed it out. I lost the first one. So how's this one? It's good? Jeff! Good go. Thanks, Jeff. What's up, Jeff Arnold? Wow, long time. What's up, brother? Brother from another mother? Hurrah. Ooh-rah. Sorry. All right, let's see here. I should be able to get something here for you guys, some entertainment before too long. I'm in an area called the Killing Fields, according to some local guy and his nephew. So I'm trying the Killing Fields here. Oh my gosh, never heard that. Sibling from another dribbling. What the heck? I gotta tell my brother, he's gonna laugh. I can hear his laugh already. Sibling from another dribbling. That's not funny. Yes, it is. Oh my gosh. Sibling from another dribbling. Oh no, 65 years old. I'm sorry, 63 years old, and I've never heard that. Did you see? I was just watching a short. I don't know if they're brothers. They're probably just friends. They're three friends. They're all out in a hide. I don't know if they're duck hunting or deer hunting or whatever, and they're all in their camis and they're telling dad jokes. I was in stitches at Starbucks listening to these guys. Oh my gosh. He says, what do you call tennis without what do you call tennis without the what do you call tennis without the noise? Same thing, just without the racket. Something like that. And they're saying it in a whisper because they're in a hide, so they're not trying to disturb, the whatever animal they're hunting for. And they're laughing in stitches in a total, whisper. And sometimes the guy falls over backwards and they all look at him and his legs go up in the air because he's laughing. Or the guy hits him and he falls backwards. Yeah, well that's an oldie. Yeah. But your feet show it because they're Longfellows. Come on, you got to finish that. I'm a poet, but I don't know it. But my feet show it because they're Longfellows. Okay, I'm in a I already know this area. It's a sea of grass, and I found some large bass hiding in this strip of grass. It's probably like 500 yards long. But over here where I'm at right now, and I keep seeing some swirls and boils over here, some bait fish. So I should be over there. Hold on. I'm gonna reposition a little bit closer to this activity. And this is along that same line, the same grass line. You can't see the grass above water, but it's right here. It's right here at the surface and grows down to the bottom. I'm only in like 1.5 feet of water. 18 inches to 2 feet. And I'm gonna come down here a bit. Okay, I see the bait fish activity down here. So that means there should be bigger fish, right? Chasing the smaller fish. Let's see if I can see if history holds to this spot. I was saying earlier, I ran into a year where this section right here, well, actually it was further down and I was casting towards this, in this direction. I found a school of relatively large bass, 3 and 4 pound bass. I caught like 3 of them in the same area. All 3.5 and low 4 pounders. I was just like, oh my gosh, something down here is attracting them. And it was this grass that I noticed. Now, actually, I'm looking down and the grass is kind of ended. It's behind me. So maybe I'm at the end of the grassy knoll. Mother, like no other brother from another mother ever was. Now you're reaching there, bro. You're starting to sound like how much wood can a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? But you're using the brother from another mother. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna stick with the grass. Hold on. Gosh, I am so tossed now with what I should do. Let's go back to the grass and see what the grass holds here. Well, that makes sense. And okay, I'm a lot of debris, a lot of hang up, just kind of pulling this worm through the thicket here on the bottom. And let's see. Oh, what was that? Oh, there's a splash right over there. All right. Well, this is the other area that I was debating. Like, do I cast back out here to the edge? Or do I hit the grass? To the edge of the lily pads or the grass? All right. So what's new there, Mr. Jeff? Jeff, right? Yeah, Jeff. Are you retired, Jeff? Or are you still an officer? Or what are you doing? You probably told me once before, but I don't remember. Yeah, you know what? I'm all about that. I thought you were here. I guess not. I was just saying that. That's exactly my tactic. Is I get parallel with that line of lily pad. That way I can hit all the edges as I'm dragging the worm back. as opposed to being perpendicular to it and trying to hit, certain spots. You can accomplish all those spots in one retrieve. That's exactly what I was explaining to the choir earlier. I don't think there was anybody. There's a couple young kids, I think, my grandkids' age, that were here earlier. Yeah, I'm kind of in between. I'm on top of at the end of a grass strip going to my right, and I'm perpendicular with this line of, well, it's a sea of lily pads. I can kind of show you here. This entire lake right now is a sea of lily pads. Look at this. See this? This is just, it's lily pads as far as you can see. I'm in some open water right here, right here. So that, and that's what I'm heading for. I'm heading right up to this edge, and I'm gonna go that way. See? Look at this. You got a sea of lily pads all the way down to the dam. Actually, this is kind of open water right here. Somewhat open. But beyond that, it's just thick lily pads going all the way along the outside edge there. And you can't see it, but it's pretty thick out there. Okay. But you never, what? Received my email. Wait a minute. Yep, I got a frog. Yep. Yeah, imagine that. Well, if you emailed me, I'm not getting your emails. Which one did you email, my Gmail or my Hotmail? Because they both go to my Gmail. So the Hotmail, the old Hotmail account is pop-mailed to my Gmail. So if you go to the Illusion Dweller at Hotmail, that'll go to my Gmail. Illusion Dweller, just like it sounds. It's the name of a rock climb in Joshua Tree National Monument, California. Illusion Dweller at hotmail.com. Just email that. I check my, my junk mail and so on, and I'm at the Stockton College campus. This is part of their campus, this lake. It's called Lake Fred. Like Fred and Wilma and Bam Bam and all that. In New Jersey. Oh, here we go. Okay. Oh, wait, is he still there? No, it's snagged. Okay, he let go and my hook's probably a mess. Here, hold on a second. Hold on. Hold on, let's see if the telltale razor shredding of the bait. Nope, so it's probably a bass. That's my guess. But we're gonna go back. That was good. That was good news. There's life over here somewhere. What the heck? Why is this getting hung up? I just made sure it's all weedless, unless my hook all of a sudden popped out of the worm, or the point, I should say, popped out of the worm. Yep, it did. Huh. Okay. Imagine that. All right. Let's, right here out in front of me. I'm casting into the sea of lily pads and then we're dragging it back to the, it's not even an edge, but it lightens up here. I'm calling it an edge only because that's what I'm going to call it. But I'm casting it from the thickets into the lighter lily pads. And I can also cast parallel down the line. And that's where I got the hit last time, was right over here. So let's see. Yep. Try it right now, Jeff. Try sending just a general hello email to the illusion dweller at Hotmail. ILLUSIONDWELLER at hotmail.com. All right, and I should see the alert pop right up. Okay, I'm going to move down the line and keep going towards where I came from. All right. Lights, camera, action. Sent. All right. I should see it pop up, right? Unless your mail is such that it doesn't recognize and sends it to junk mail. I'll have to check that if I don't see the alert. Illusion Dweller, correct, at Hotmail. ILLUSIONDWELLER, correct. Could I make it any longer? It's all right. My Gmail has 62 after it, so yes, it can be longer. Most people call it Illusion Dweller, and I'm like, no, it's Illusion Dweller. It's like, I mean, it's whatever they want to pronounce, however they want to pronounce it, but it kind of makes me smirk when I hear that Illusion Dweller. I'm like, huh? Okay, wait. Am I going to get something? Hold on. There's a lot of debris. I happened to hit an open patch as I whipped it out there, and all of a sudden it got hung up on a lot of vegetation. I was waiting for my line to start pulling back at me. Hold on. Well, if someone can't spell your email, you might not want to visit with them anyways. Okay, let's see here. Hold on. Here, I'm going to disappear just for a second. I'm going to check to see. Jeff, I got nothing, bro. Nothing in my inbox or nothing in my spam. I'll keep checking. Okay, nothing. Let's see. I'm gonna go back to that open. I don't know why that's kind of tempting right there. Yeah, I think because I left and it ended or put the live stream on hold. I don't see any email, Jeff. At least nothing yet. Nothing in the inbox, nothing in the spam. Okay, got to keep going down the line here. It's absolutely no wind, so it's beautiful. A little nippy on my back. I've got a light fleece, which I'm about to, I don't know if I even need it, but I have a fleece and a rain jacket, of course. All right, let's see here. Gotcha. Well, I haven't received anything. Didn't we go through this before? Didn't you try before and I didn't receive anything? There we go. Oh my gosh, something just grabbed it. And then by the time I went to swing and he let go. Unbelievable. Hold on. Gosh, that's just too good to be true. Come on. Okay, we know there's life here. We know there's life. Come on now. Come on, Gary. Come on. That was a good pull. That was exciting. But that was quick. He pulled quicker than I could swing. Hold on. I'm drifting ever so slightly. And I got an issue with my rudder cables, my rudder lines keeps coming off the spool underneath the handle. And I can't turn to the right without it popping off the spool. So I just cranked it to the left to point my bow. And I'm good to go as long as I'm pointing to the left. Okay, come on now. Come on. We know there's life, right? Maybe I'm going to stand, and that's going to be my... I've got a Senko, a worm. It's dark blue. It's almost like a June bug with sparkles, and then it's got a chartreuse tail, the yellow chartreuse. Okay, maybe I'm a little bit too... I need to go a little bit more thicker here into the denser part here. Come on now. Come on. We know there's life. It's just a matter of tempting it properly, right? I'm kind of dragging, I'm letting it sink, I'm jerking, I'm dragging, sinking, rising, pulling. And then wind my way down. Okay, hold on. It's kind of tough because this thing doesn't sink very much. You know, you throw it out there and it just sits on top because of how thick the vegetation is. But I can lower my rod tip, that'll let it sink if it's in open water, and then reel in as I lower the rod tip. Kind of just letting it rise and fall. Okay, hold on. Nothing over there. Where'd that guy go? He was alive there. I'm gonna go behind me and come on now. We know you're out here. Where's that 414 that I caught out here years ago? Hold on, Jeff. February 6, 2025. Well, I have no idea. Unless your email is blocked or something. How could it be blocked? Unless I'd have to block it, right? I can check that. Okay, something just hit it. Hold on, hold on, hold on. Something's on. Something's on. Ooh, gosh. He was running with it. Holy moly. Still didn't. Just a minute. Gosh. He ran to the right. I sat there and watched him. And he must not have had it in his mouth all the way. Hold on. Goodness gracious. Okay, now I'm getting anxious here. Oh, hold on. I'm hearing splashes here. Hold on. Okay, that's weird. Where's my bait? Oh, it's like I'm reeling and I'm not feeling anything. I'm thinking, are you kidding me? A fish has it and he's been swimming at me. But that wasn't the case. It was just in floating in open water, and I just couldn't feel anything, no resistance. Which doesn't make sense because there is no open water on top or underneath. It's all vegetation. Hold on. It's overwhelming. The visual is, there is no differentiation between anything. It's just all lily pads, and so it's like the more you stare, though, you start developing an eye for something that stands out, other than the rest of the sea of lily pads, and that'll get your attention. And then you cast over there, and then you'll see a little more dense of a area that has, created itself, and so you're casting over there, thinking, if I was a fish, I'd hide in that area of lily pads as opposed to any of the others. Does it work? Sometimes. Okay, I'm gonna change here. Hold on. Seems like whenever I reposition and then make my first casts is when I get the response. But the key is to hook into it. And I've failed twice, right? My rudder's still pointing. Okay. Okay. Give it a go again here. I see a little clearing here in the lily pads. I'm going to aim for that and then drag over the top of it and see if anything's hiding on the edges here. Hold on. There's something out here in the water. I can see the tail moving around the lily pads. And I almost landed on top of it just by chance on that cast. I saw it after the fact. Okay, I'm seeing it right now. I'm gonna keep an eye on it and see if I can throw the worm back on top of that. Right, let's see. Oh my gosh, I'm just past it. I'm gonna drag right over the top of it. Let's see what this produces. Come on. Here I'm right at it right now. Nothing. Well, it must be a slight breeze because I'm drifting ever so slightly. I'm getting blown a little bit here. You know, I need to get my mic on. It would make me just so comfy right now. I'm gonna do it real quick. Okay. Now this shirt has thumb holes, so that's a good thing when putting on your jacket. Okay. Got it. Tuck my shirt in. Get the zipper up. Oh, this is toasty. This is nice. This is just what the doctor ordered. Put the vest on. Because the temperature went from what, 90 yesterday to 72 today. It's doing that again. And then tomorrow, I think it's supposed to be 80, back up to 89. So I'm like, what? I'm gonna go fishing today because I didn't want to go out in the extreme heat with the air quality alert, in effect. It's just brutal. Although the evenings are tempting, but it was still 89 degrees at 6 p.m. So I decided, heck with that. I always ask, Alexa, what's the temperature at 6 p.m.? It'll be 89 degrees. And I went, okay, I'm going. But today, it's much cooler. Only in the 70s, low 70s. And a low of 50 tonight, 50. So, and then back up to, I think, 89 tomorrow. Like, okay. Check email now. Alrighty. Usually you get an alert, up at the top, and I'm not seeing anything. Although I'll go to my email. Give me 1 second. There's a way of dropping a window down, minimizing a window on your mobile. And I've done it a few times, but I keep forgetting how to do that. And I'm wondering if that's the key when I'm live streaming, is to be able to minimize this window. And then, that disconnects me when so I don't know if you're still. Okay. Aha. Are you back? Two people. Come in, come in. Before I lose light, I'll get the flashlight on the subject here in a second, but I'm gonna hold off just for a little bit longer. Don't swipe, guys. Come in. Give me the thumbs up at least before you swipe. Thank you. I'm trying to bring one more in here before I call it. Oh, you know what? Let me get my swim bait. Okay, I've wore this one out. Let me switch and see what that does. Well, hold on. Okay. Are you back? Jeff, you're back. Finally. Yeah, it did go to my spam, but I got it as not spam now, so it'll be sent to my inbox. Finally, right? Okay, I'm going to put some light on the subject here in a second. I just switched to a swim bait, little shad-tailed swimmer. It's called a naked swimmer. I've mentioned that before. Something's being chased right here at my port side here. Okay. Time for some light on the subject, I think. Okay, there we go. A little bit better. You can see me now. Okay, let's produce something with this guy. Let me turn around. You know what? I don't need to be facing one way or the other. There's no wind, so. Well, let's do it this way. You still there, Jeff? There's something right here next to me. Gosh, I'm hearing activity all around me. It's like bloop, bloop, bloop. Something's being chased, right? You know, that's the Jupiter and Venus's conjunction up in the sky. I pointed it out the other night. I thought they were airplanes, but then I did an inquiry, and it's the conjunction of Jupiter and Venus, which is interesting if you don't know what that is. It's where the orbit of, don't quote me on this, the orbits cross each other twice. So one lays over the other, it makes it look like a bright star. And if you want to watch some interesting facts about that phenomenon, look up the movie, what is it again? It's an attorney that put together a video on his experience with that, the study of the Star of David, and the computer software that he purchased for $50 that led him to make that movie. What he found was profound. It involves the same conjunction, and I'm not going into detail on purpose, but it's the Star of Bethlehem, the Bethlehem Star. Look that up online, the Bethlehem Star. And if you can find it online for free, even better. But you can purchase it for like $15 or something, or I don't know if they have it or to rent or what. But it's it's another one of those. Imagine that. Imagine that. My God, what have you done? That's one of the lines out of the movie. It's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. The story, it's not a story, it's fact. It's all based on evidence. And he presents it really well. And you can purchase the same software that he purchased where he made his discovery. You can go back in time via the position of the stars, the clockwork that God has put in place, and be able to go back all the way back to the crucifixion of Jesus, 33 AD or whenever it was. And the birth of Christ, crucifixion. You can see the position of the stars on those days. And what you'll find is profound. There's no debating that. The position of the stars back, in that time. Pretty amazing what you can do with that software. I don't have it, but just his presentation is awesome. The Bethlehem Star. All right, that's not producing anything. Interesting that nothing's hitting on this swim bait even at this time of the night. Wonder why. Anybody still there? It looks like 2 people are watching, but where are you guys? Is that you, Jeff, or somebody else? Pop in and say hello. Is it my wife? Beyond the bedside, are you still there? Aha. Ah. Jeff, meet beyond the bedside. Beyond the bedside, meet Jeff. Beyond the bedside, referring to bedside nursing. She gave it up after 30 years and is in utilities management now, from home and at the office. Still a nurse, still nursing related, but it's the insurance, paperwork, orders, computer side of the house. She'll be able to clarify that better than I can. Jeff. Oh, I see. You corrected yourself. Beautiful wife of Doc. I wish I was more like my wife. Definitely not glad I'm a female, but you know what I mean. Thank you very much. How's the microphone's working good? Yeah, she's my unofficial audio technician, making sure my audio stays good to go, and then letting me know when it's on the blink, although everybody else lets me know as well. Because you're a dude. And proud of it, thank you very much. Let's see. What are we doing, Jeff? Nothing's doing over here. All right, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to wander away from this area. I'm going to start heading kind of, something hit it. Something, oh, there's something on it, guys. Oh, wait. What in the world? It just bit off my whole line. It's a pickerel. It's gone. My line is gone. Everything is gone. It's history. There's nothing on the end of my pole. God, that was a vicious pickerel. He chomped on that a few times. Oh, look, wait, my leader's still here. Okay, great. I don't have to retie the leader. I'm gonna grab the light here for a second because I'm so blinded I can't see. So bear with me for a second. I need it to tie. But yeah, he just severed my leader, but at least that's all it was. I mean, severed the bait off of the leader. Dang, that was vicious. That guy was angry. He swiped it, grabbed it, pulled on it, and grabbed it again. And next thing you know, it's gone. Oh my goodness. Okay, real quick, here's my setup. Bobber stop. Familiar with the bobber stop? I know the light is facing the wrong way right now, but just a little rubber stop that keeps a bobber from sliding up and down the line. But in this case, it keeps the weight from sliding up and down the line. So, see if I can do it without light. No, it's going to be backlit, so I'm going to do it this way. All right, here's the drill. If I can even see. You take the bobber stop. That's the bobber stop. You can't see it. Nah, there it is, up against my face here. Maybe that's it. You see those little black little nubs there? Those are bobber stops. So you thread the line through the little metal loop, and just like sewing, then you grab the bobber stop and you slide it down onto the line and keep sliding it until it comes off the wire and onto the line. And the line loops through, and then the bobber stop is voila, right there. I'll put it against my face. See that little black dot right there? That's on the line now. It's off of the bobber stop little wire, and now it's on the line. Okay, got it. And if you already know this, just bear with me. I'm doing it for anybody else that doesn't. So you get the bobber stop, and then you put the weight, and then you put the hook, and then you put the bait, and you're good to go. A little 16th ounce. How many do I got there? I can't see, of course, because I'm blinding myself. There we go. Okay. Put the weight on. Grab a 5/0 hook. I found 4 doesn't quite penetrate some of the thicker swim baits, so I went to 5, and there we go. Use my pinky as an anchor. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Just a standard uni knot right in that. Here, I need the light. Sorry guys, I'm blinding myself. Okay. I got all the bugs in my face now. Look at how many bugs I got. Oh my gosh. I need to put my collar up here. Okay, hold on. Ugh. Okay, bobber stop, weight, hook. Oh my gosh, that was a monster. That sounded like a porpoise out in the middle of the lake. Holy moly. That was a monster splash. And he did the mash. He did the monster mash. Okay, never mind. I'm so bugged out right now. Hold on. Oh my gosh. I got to get the bug. I got to get the light out of my face. Hold on. I'm almost done. Oh my gosh. They're crawling on me. They're on my nose. They're on my eyes. They're in my throat. Okay. Good to go. Take the light off. All right. Put the light back. We're gonna catch something here before we're done. Stand by. Okay. Good to go. I cannot see right now. I blinded myself. All right. I am literally sightless right now. Not sightless, but I am in the dark here. Stand by. That was approximately what, 3-4 minutes? So I should be within that 5-minute window, right? That bug's gonna fly. Yeah, I know. I think we've all inhaled a bug at one point in our life, right? Oh my God, there's bugs on the camera. I just wiped it and smeared his guts on the screen of my phone. Stand by. You know, the only drawback is I can't see the bite, you know, or the splash. All I got to do is just feel. But I got to deal with it. So. Okay. Let's see if we can. One last creature before we go. I keep saying that, but. Okay, why is it so loose? I am in open water? What? This is weird. There is no open water. Unless there's a fish on it and it's swimming at me. Nope. Okay. I can't even see. Oh, here it is. I was looking for the trail in the water so I could see where it was, but I couldn't even see that. Okay. You know, I kept hearing those giant splashes out behind me, and that's open water back there. But you know what? Hold on. I'm getting snagged, so that means there's lots of vegetation here. I'm going to slow down and let whatever's down there come out of hiding. Come on. Here we go. Here we go. Come on. It's getting stuck a lot. You know what? I'm going to reposition because those splashes behind me got my attention. And I am going to, wait a minute, see, how can you still see? Good question. With this light in my face, I can't see a thing. You know, it's so backwards on when you're viewing me. You can see me fine, so you think, oh, he can see. I'm like, I can't see a thing. I'm about to end here, honey. I'm coming home eventually. I'm just going to back up and I'm going to cast towards where I was. And I'm going to put myself out where I heard this giant splash. It sounded like a whale. Like a dog jumped in the water, you know, that type of a splash. Out here in the middle of the lake, and it's no dog. So I'm wondering, what in the world was that? Something did a belly flop, and it must have been big, or bigger. Okay, I'm getting back here. This is open water back here, but I'm gonna just go with it. And this will position me to get closer to where I get out. So I'm kind of I'm killing two birds with one stone here. I'm moving into another fishing spot, and I'm getting closer to the exit. So, okay, hold on. I'm just going to keep backing up. Keep backing up. And I don't know why anything's out here in the open water, but something was. Okay, that's lily pads. All right, it's a small little patch of lily pads. This is all open, super shallow. It's only 1.5 to 2 feet deep out here. 2 feet. And where's my pole? There it is. See, I can't see a thing with that light in my eyes, but I'm going to cast back where I was. There's the splash over there to my right a bit. Look at, I pointed it out last time. I'm going to turn it around and show you again. Look at Venus and Jupiter. See there? Look at that. Isn't that something? Right there. Ooh, what's the third one? The third one over here to the right. Whoa, I didn't even see that, but there it is, very faint. But that's Jupiter, the conjunction of Jupiter and Venus. That's something. They're not on top of each other yet, but just a little spoiler alert, that movie that I was referring to, on the day that Jesus was born, 33 AD, You can go back in time, literally, with that software and see the position of the stars from the Earth at that time, and you'll see the conjunction of Venus and Jupiter. Jupiter is the king star, or the king planet. Imagine that. And Jupiter is the mother, right? Imagine that. The conjunction of the king and the mother on the day Christ was born. And that star of Bethlehem was exactly that. It wasn't a star because, what is it? Stars don't move. But these moved. Well, actually, they're planets that moved. But it was referred as the Star of Bethlehem. It's amazing. I mean, you can't, argue historical data, It's pretty amazing. Like he said, my God, what have you done? It's bizarre, unbelievable. Fits scripture to the T, word for word. And he shows it. He says in law, he says there's 9 points that he uses. I don't know if that's something you're taught when you're, going through law, but there's 9 points that you need to show in order to, well, don't quote me on this, to prove something, without actually having the smoking gun. So he used that, if I remember correctly, he used that approach to when pursuing, the Bethlehem star. And he met all 9 of them. Overwhelming. And to me, there's no other, it's conclusive. There's no other, I mean, how can you argue, what you are seeing? And the blood red moon that is mentioned, I think it's in Revelation, and he covers it all. It just fits. It's amazing. Here, in a nutshell, I've been actually shown this before. He touches on it a little bit. I got a friend in San Diego that actually dissected it and defined it even more. But you can see the story, the biblical story, through the stars in the universe. Now he said you got to be real careful. He had to be real with that because he knows that you're not to deal with astrology, in Scripture. But he was very careful about that, and he doesn't show. That isn't what he's showing. He's not demonstrating astrology. He's using astronomy to tell the biblical story, and it's overwhelming. It's called the Maseroth Gospel, and that's the title it was given by the person that did initially did the research. A friend of mine just redid what was already written, and he presents it as well, this friend of mine in San Diego. And you can see the story of Christ in the stars. And the expression that he uses in the movie is, my God, what have you done? It's amazing. Even Scripture says, the heavens declare the glory of God. Imagine that, right there. They absolutely do. Literally do. Physically do. You can see the story of Christ, the birth, the death, and the resurrection all through the stars in the heavens. The heavens surely declare the glory of God. My God, what have you done? It's amazing. It's like only a creator could accomplish something like that. Okay, I am so bugged out right now. It's ridiculous. All right, time to call this quits, guys. You know what? I am going to, oh God, the bugs are thick. They are covering me, covering my arms, my face. They're in my face. They're in my gaiter, but just for the goodbye, I am gonna quickly say hasta la vista, everybody, as you were. It's been real. Sorry I didn't read your last comments. Did you send me email? Yes, that was actually, like I said, it forwards the email to my Gmail, my Hotmail to my Gmail. So what you got is from my Gmail. So yes. Jeff, look up like I said, the Bethlehem Star by, speaking of Jeff, oh my gosh, I didn't realize. It's Jeff, I believe his first name is Jeff. Look up the Bethlehem Star, not the Star of Bethlehem, the Bethlehem Star. It's by Jeff somebody, he's an attorney. He did this back in like 2017 or 15 or somewhere back then. He made the movie. I actually have it in my house. And it's phenomenal. Phenomenal. All right, I'm out of here. As you were. Later, bro.